How do you think about this bubble talk that has been going on for the last few months, especially?
I mean, I think it's quite possible.
We have no current plans to make revenue. We have no idea how we may one day generate revenue.
Ladies and gentlemen, by the end of 2026, the capital expenditure of Amazon will be $200 billion, Microsoft $190 billion, Google around $175 to $190 billion, and Meta approximately $115 to $145 billion. That makes the total capex of $725 billion only by these four tech giants. This was $410 billion in 2025 and just $162 billion in 2022. Most of these expenditures are going for infrastructural development on data center, chips and server. And the biggest problem with capital expenditure is it doesn't give any immediate return. Let's understand this with an example. Suppose you own a petrol pump, but you project that there is going to be huge demand of charging stations. So you start to invest massively in building charging stations. But this investment will not have any kind of immediate impact on your revenue because the usage of all these charging stations depends upon future demand. And this is exactly what is happening with AI. The entire investment is based on a simple logic. It is going to solve the problem of peoples, and for enterprises, it is going to replace thousands of workers, so they will subscribe to AI. So let's examine the current situation of AI. A MIT study found that 95% of AI deployment failed to show any measurable impact on profit. According to Gartner's report, 80% of AI projects are failing to deliver business value, and even companies are pulling back as there is no measurable ROI. In 2025, companies invested an average of $6.8 million on every AI initiative, but return delivered was only $1.9 million in value. Only 28% of AI use cases fully succeeded and met ROI expectation. Okay, all these four public companies are big profitable companies, so they can absorb losses. So let's understand this with most famous AI private companies: OpenAI, the maker of ChatGPT, Anthropic, the maker of Claude. The revenue of OpenAI, the most funded private company in the history, in 2025 was $13 billion with a loss of $9 billion, while Anthropic revenue was around $9 billion and loss was not disclosed. And in 2026, the loss of these both companies will be around $14 billion. Only 5% free user of ChatGPT are converted into paid users. The pressure is mounting in such a way that the founders are stepping back from their own previous statement, putting users' privacy on the stake, which is backfiring, and even shutting down their AI models due to heavy operation cost. In 2024, Sam Altman called ads plus AI unsettling and framed it as a last resort.
I kind of think of ads as like a last resort for us for a business model.
But in February 2026, there were reports that ChatGPT is testing ads. In early 2026, OpenAI signed $200 million contract with Pentagon to develop a frontier AI capabilities. AI models trained on conversation of ordinary people. When it came out, 1.5 to 2.5 million users cancelled their paid ChatGPT subscription in just 48 hours. App uninstalls increased roughly by 300%. OpenAI closed its video product Sora because it was costing around $15 million every single day. Apart from all this, the big threat to a spend now and profit later story is Chinese AI models. Remember, in January 2025, when a Chinese startup called DeepSeek released an AI model that performed close to top US models but was trained far more cheaply. Result: Nvidia stock fell by 17% in a single day, wiping out $589 billion in value. The biggest one-day loss for any public company in the history. Even today, some open source Chinese AI models run at 60 to 90% cheaper than the leading Anthropic and OpenAI models, being equally competitive to other US models. These are the numbers why co-founders and CEOs are talking about AI bubble. Now comes the most important part of this entire video. Is there AI bubble or AI crash is coming? Well, the answer to this question cannot be yes or no. But the simple financial math for so many AI companies is not going well as of now. OpenAI is valued at roughly 35 times of its yearly revenue. A normal, healthy and mature company usually trades somewhere between 2 and 10 times revenue. Paying 35x means investors are heavily betting on its future that hasn't happened yet. If all the investments are made considering the future, whether it will crash or not, only time will tell. With all this information, I leave it to you to decide. Give your opinion in the comment section. If you learned anything valuable, consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next.